What if the difference between your game's success and failure came down to just 3 simple things? These are the pillars that have helped games like yours generate over $500 million in revenue. I'm Warren. I'm the co-founder of Upptic. We built Upptic with this idea in mind of what we call the 3 pillars of growth. For anything to work, we had to have the 3 legs to the table of the user acquisition piece, the kind of operational piece, pulling the levers of the marketing campaigns. You of course have to have creative, which is the heart and soul. That's what we're actually pushing out into the world to get players into our games. And then of course you have to have the data and analytics function. So at a high level, what we try to do with this 3-pillar concept is unsilo the 3 functions and have everyone working from operating one marketing machine, them owning a role in it, but then also having enough understanding of the other roles. So what does this mean practically? It means that we do some pretty unique things. We have design sessions where our creative team is essentially co-developing software with the engineering team, booking some time, talking through their issues, talking through opportunities they see to maybe show data better. And it's the same thing with the relationship between creative and user acquisition. What can the data show us to better inform what we produce next? And that's how we've got a lot of our biggest unlocks here at Upptic, is just having everyone understand the work streams and functions of these 3 pillars of data, user acquisition, and creative. Here at Upptic, we are really friggin' lucky, and I am very lucky because every day I get to show up and do exactly the thing I want to do, which is work on growing video games. It sounds nerdy, but it's really what I live and breathe. It's what makes me excited in the morning, and it's kind of a culture that we have here. And one of the things that I'm proudest about here is, we're a business that's a little over 5 years old. Our first client is still our client today, over 5 years later, and it's a game that we've been able to drive hundreds of millions of downloads and hundreds of millions of dollars in revenue from, and take them on that journey from being a very small developer to one of the biggest games in the world. And that's something that we are always really motivated by here. It's fun to work on some of our favorite games and work with some of these bigger companies that we get to. But what's even more satisfying is if we can work with a small, savvy team that's built a great game and help them take that from 0 to an industry-topping game. That to me is the best possible feeling. I think we've had at least 4 or 5 of our partners that we helped grow from a really small state to getting acquired by large game studios and achieving these really large business objectives for them as founders. And that's something that's always a really fun and rewarding journey to be part of as their partner for growth. One thing I wish I knew when I started Upptic is the truth is that every game company is a little messy on the inside. When we're the outside as just a player, as a customer, we assume that everything is buttoned up and professional, all the data is perfect, everyone's doing their jobs on point. The truth is, it's a very messy business. I always say game marketing has 100 problems that we're trying to solve concurrently, everything from the economies in these games and the user funnels to the distributions of ads and the optimizations of them, the development of creative. And it's just a messy business. And I think if just sort of embracing that there is a certain amount of chaos to it and no company does it perfectly, not expecting them to. And, if we work with a team, we're going to come in now knowing hey, you're not coming to us because everything's going perfectly. We're here to help. Some of the stuff's not going to be perfect. Your data is not going to be perfect. Your creative strategy is not going to be perfect. We're going to work it through together. And it's a nice part of the craft is that it's so complicated, no one can do it perfectly, but if you can just be big picture in your thinking, think about the interlocking functions of creative, data, and marketing, just do a little bit better job than everyone else, there's a lot of room for advantage. I'm kind of selfish, and I've been able to kind of make Upptic be my dream job. So I wake up really excited, sincerely excited every day here that I get to work on video games. I come from a family that's pretty blue collar, mostly construction workers in my family. And I feel almost guilt every day that I get to make a living working with my friends and people that I respect in games that I love. So I think one thing I'm really proud of is we've had a lot of really long-term team members here that have been with us from the beginning. We've had a lot of team members that have gone into their own life journeys, started families, seen the world, pursued other things, and then come back home to Upptic when they're ready to further their careers. That's something that gives me a lot of happiness because we are in this for the really long term for us as a business, and our vision in the industry. And it's been really cool to be with some of the same people that have been there since we were just our first 4 or 5 employees, and now key roles leading the company. So just seeing people stick around here and grow with us and grow into leaders here has been a really cool part of the journey. if you are a team trying to grow a game and need partners for any of the stuff that we talked about, for the data and analytics piece, for the user acquisition work, for the creative, all these things that interlocked, that's what we live and breathe. And you can reach us through our website. It's upptic.com. That's upptic.com.